Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing the Library of Horrors book tag. Now, I was tagged for this by Nick over at Spooky Noodles. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. The original tag was done by Alex's Library. I will leave a link to the original tag in the description below also. So, how many questions are on this thing? I think about 9 or 10 questions, and then of course tag 3 people. First question is, dead doesn't mean gone. And that's a horror book with a ghost haunting. And I'm going to choose for that one, I'm going to choose The Patience of a Dead Man. And this is by Michael Clark. This is book 1 of the Patience of a Dead Man trilogy. I don't have the other 2 books. I believe one of them is called Dead Woman Scorned. And I can't remember what the last one is called, or the second one or third one is called. But I know one of them is called Dead Woman Scorned. I just can't remember the other one. So this is about a guy that moves into a house. He's kind of going to do a fixer-upper thing on it. And it turns out that the house is haunted by this woman who is a ghostly presence, so to speak, and she is not a very happy or very nice ghostly presence. I'm not going to go into too much more detail about it than that. Anyway, that is my answer for Dead Doesn't Mean Gone, a horror book with a ghost haunting. All right. Okay, next up is Lullaby, a horror book with a creepy child. I haven't featured this book on here in a while, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go way back to the, to the OG, as they say, of creepy kid books. I'm going to go with William March's The Bad Seed. Excuse me, wow, sorry about that. This is an excellent frickin' book, alright? I mean, if you want a book about an absolutely creepy evil child, you cannot go wrong with the story of Rhoda Penmark here within the pages of The Bad Seed. This is an awesome book, alright? I might do a top 5 or top 10 or whatever creepy kids books, at least the ones I've read. You know, I might see how that comes out one of these days. Alright, anyway, that's Lullaby, a horror book that features a creepy kid. Okay? Next up, You Are Invited, a horror book with a creepy cult. And I'm going to go with Todd Keesling's Devil's Creek. Alright? This is kind of a mix of, trying to think about the best way to put it. It's that old-time religion meets cosmic horror with, I don't know, a little bit of southern gothic horror mixed in with it. I don't really know how to describe it just in, without reading the synopsis, but if you don't read this book, just give this book a chance, alright? Because it is an absolutely fantastic book. Yeah, it is. It's about a cult, and it's about this town called Devil's Creek. Or Stafford, Kentucky, and there's a place called Devil's Creek. But yeah, this is just an absolutely awesome book. I mean, and if you want one with a creepy cult in it, there you go. Todd Keesling's Devil's Creek. All right. Okay, It's You, It's Me. Oh, wait a minute, that's not it. Devil's Advocate, a horror book with a morally gray protagonist. Now, the one I picked is not necessarily a horror book. It is a graphic novel. Now, if you want to say there are levels of horror in it, maybe like psychological horror because of the whole thing with the insanity things and stuff like that, then yeah, you could say, yes, it's a horror book if you want to. Anyway, I chose Harleen. Because to me, Harley Quinn is definitely a character with a morally gray area. I mean, you gotta remember on Batman the Animated Series, she started out as the bad guy. She was the Joker's girlfriend and wore the Harley Quinn outfit and said Mr. J a lot and stuff like that and things like that and all. But Then she started easing over a little bit further into good guy territory. Now, she still does some kind of bad things every now and then, but as far as I know, she's kind of in that morally gray area. I know she's helped the Batman on a few occasions. I know she's kind of tried to, like with the animated series of hers, she she wanted to do bad things, but she ended up kind of doing good things, So yeah, I'm going with Harley Quinn, Devil's Advocate, Harley Quinn, all right? Next up is It's You, It's Me, It's Us, a horror book whose protagonist you relate to. I don't know if he's the protagonist. I think he's more the antagonist in this, but I'm going to go with Dr. Hannibal Lecter because Dr. Lecter and I do not like rude people. Now, I'm not talking about if you do something rude and you do it unintentionally. There's a difference between that. But if you're just pardon my expression, a dick, then you're going to be in Dr. Lecter's radar. Now, I'm not going to try to eat you or anything like that. I'm a little more passive-aggressive than that. I might do something else to you. But Dr. Lecter, he's going to put you on a spit. He's going to roast you, fricassee you, saute you, all those things that famous chefs do. And Dr. Hannibal Lecter, he is a famous chef. Let's face it, the dude can cook. It's just what he does cook. Anyway, that's my answer for It's You, It's Me, It's Us. Alrighty. Till Death Do Us Part, a horror book with a romantic plot. Alright, now I could not think of any horror books that I've got that had a romantic plot to them. I probably could have if I'd have kind of, given it a little more thought, but, I didn't. In fact, I went as far from romantic as you could possibly get, and I chose the relationship between Billy Silver, that drug-addicted, heroin junkie, wannabe rock star, disgusting human being of the titular title of Daniel Volpe's book, and his girlfriend. I don't remember her name. I am sorry. I'm going to look her name up real fast because it'll tell me here in a minute. Billy Silver, blah, blah. Jeannie. Yeah, you talk about a relationship that is not a romantic relationship. They're both junkies. Jeannie is famous for a certain talent that she has, and Billy likes when she demonstrates that talent. But Jeannie doesn't like when Billy does something to her while she is demonstrating that talent. Alrighty? Okay, ain't saying anything more about it, but these two are as far removed from romantic as you can possibly get. Okay? So there's my answer for that one. Alright, next up. Whoa, my thing disappeared here. Okie dokie. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm in a good mood today. Can you guys tell that? I don't know why I'm in a good mood, but I'm in a good mood today. I haven't been in a lot of good moods lately, and I'm in a good mood today. Alright, let me see here. Pondering the Pages, a horror book. Wait a minute, did I miss one? I missed one. Pondering the Pages, a horror book that stayed with you long after the first page. Alright, gosh. Oh, that's the one I didn't get. Let me think about it. You know what? I'm going to combine because I'm going to say the book that I've got for the next one also. And you could actually include it for the last book, but I do have one for the last book. And so they're kind of interchangeable, or not the last book, next to the last. A horror book that stayed with me is The Girl Next Door. All right? I could have chosen Survivor, could have chosen Uncle Vampire. I haven't talked about The Girl Next Door. I don't think I've hardly ever talked about this book, but this is a fictional account of the real-life case of Sylvia Likens, who was basically kept captive by her, I believe it was her aunt, or it might have been her stepmother. I think it was her aunt, though. I don't remember the woman's name, but she was an absolutely freaking horrible human being. Her and her kids and the kids' friends and everything, and I may be getting a little bit of it wrong, but they did some absolutely horrible things to this young girl, and she ended up dying, all right? Like I said, this is based on a true story. And it's just absolutely devastating to think this happened in nice, sweet suburbia, you know, with your houses all in a row and your well-manicured lawns and things like that. But that is where it happened. And yeah, this did. When I read it, it did stay with me for a long time. I don't have kids either, you know. I got 3 grown stepdaughters. They're all grown up. I don't have to worry about them. I mean, they're married, or 2 of them are. Anyway, but yeah, that's definitely one to stick with you. And I'm also going to include that one as under Cover Your Eyes, a genuinely shocking horror book. All right. So there's that answer for that. And let me see. Oh no, that left you deeply unsettled. I'm getting my things mixed up. Okay. So Pondering the Pages was the one I just talked about with this. I am also going to include it with one called Nightmare Fuel, a horror book that left you deeply unsettled. Also this one. Okay. And then finally, or not finally, Cover Your Eyes, a genuinely shocking horror book. So really, Pondering the Pages, Nightmare Fuel, and Cover Your Eyes, you could really combine those 3. But for the last part of that one, Cover Your Eyes, I'm going to go with one I just reviewed, and that is Let's Go Play at the Adams, which is actually, I believe, was loosely based on the Sylvia Likens case. One of my commenters, James Smith Fitness, pointed that out to me, that I had heard that Let's Go Play at the Adams was loosely based on a true story, but I didn't know which one. But yeah, I believe it was the Sylvia Likens case. Anyway, this is about a group of kids that they bind and gag the babysitter, and they do things not only to her, but things that they're not going to get away with normally if she were able to discipline them. And you start to see just what kind of adults these kids are going to grow up into, and it's pretty freaking terrifying. If you think the kids are all sweet and innocent, read Let's Go Play at the Adams, read The Girl Next Door, and you're going to get a very rude awakening, all right? So there you go. And finally, and I got all those straightened out. I apologize for that. And finally, the finale, a book that you would recommend to everybody. I am also going to be talking about Todd Keisling in this one because I haven't talked about this one in a while. But I'm going to talk about The Final Reconciliation. And this is about a rock band. And they are called The Final Reconciliation. Or the Yellow Kings. I am sorry, the Yellow Kings. Their album, they're working on an album. It's their final album called The Final Reconciliation. And they meet this very enigmatic young woman. And so it kind of it definitely goes into the realm of cosmic horror. And of course, the Yellow Kings is a big reference to Hastur from The King in Yellow. Of course, there's also a lot of Lovecraftian elements to this, but this is a novella, and I loved this book, man. I flew through this thing so fast, and I may have to give this a reread one of these days because it's just that good. If you haven't read it, give it a shot. So yeah, that's what I'm recommending. I'm recommending that to everybody. It's The Final Reconciliation. So that is it. That is the Library of Horrors book tag. So, who am I going to tag? Let me think here. I am going to tag Lady Jane at Lady Jane Books. Alright. I'm going to tag... Oh my gosh, can't remember who I was going to tag. Oh wow, drawing a blank here. I'm going to tag E.D. Lewis at E.D. Lewis Reviews. And finally, I'm going to tag Nikki at DarkBetweenPages. Alright, so you 3 have been tagged to do the Library of Horrors book tag. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.